This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at Little Fish Theater for their presentation of Quartet.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Margaret Schugt. I'm the director of Quartet.
What do you find so interesting about this piece?
That's a great question. I think that probably the answer is really long, so I'll shorten it for you. I fell in love with the opera when I was 12 years old, and my dad used to listen to it in his study, and I heard something coming from the study, and I thought, what is this amazing music? And I sat outside his study door for hours and hours and just listened to it. And from that moment, I fell in love with opera. And I always knew that I would do things that involved the theater because that's just who I am. And I love comedy. And all of a sudden, a play came along that was a comedy about opera, which I thought was not something I would ever see. And so, for me, it was the perfect combination. It was my two favorite things.
I really love this piece because not only is it about the art and also about music. I enjoy art and music, but also it was about growing old gracefully, in which it's kind of a mystery because we don't pay a whole lot of attention to people who grow old, and we don't know. We consider it like the great mystery or something like that, but I found it fascinating.
Oh, I do too. I mean, I suppose I should talk about my other love. My other love, opera comedy, and was my big granny. And if you ever talk to anyone who meets me, you'll hear stories about my big granny. She was the most influential person in my life, and I never really understood why when we would go to restaurants, people would ask me what she wanted to eat. I didn't understand that because she was a full, awesome, amazing, realized people. And all of a sudden we have these four people on this stage, and they're facing this question. What do you do with your life once you can no longer do the thing that you were meant to do? The thing that made you special? Who do you decide to be? And so it's funny, it's about opera, and it's this really great question that all of us will face at some point in our life, whether it's a little thing or a life-changing thing. What do you do when you can no longer do the thing that you were supposed to do? And they all make different choices, and they're all funny and beautiful and passionate and angry and all the things you want in life.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the way they presented it. I looked at it as when you grow older, you just have this treasure trove full of memories, and you just keep telling it over and over again to your children, to your friends. You keep reliving it. It's like almost, I thought about this, when you go to heaven, it's kind of like the only life you have is the one you have right here. And all you're going to do in life is just tell you of all the wonderful things you did. And you're going to hear other people tell the wonderful things they did. Because what else can you do besides to talk about clouds and all that? You're just going to talk about what you did and the beautiful life you experienced.
I'm sort of hoping that heaven's a lot more drinking and poker. Those are my hopes. Who knows what happens next? But there is something magical in the remembrance and how for a moment when we remember, we're alive again. As if it was lit. And I think that's what the finale of the show is about, that memory is as powerful as the moment that something happened if you let it be. So that's why I kind of think it's really poignant. Yeah.
I really love the cast you chose. What do you look for in your casting?
Talent, and then a love of the material, certainly. One of the actors he plays Wilfred in the show, he loves the opera. And not only does he love the opera, but his partner is an opera singer with LA Opera. The woman who plays Cicely Robson, she's a classically trained singer. And so they came to the material and loved it. And that's when you can find somebody who's talented and loves the same things you do, it usually goes pretty well. So, lucky.
Yeah, well, you're a fantastic choice in casting. They were perfect for the parts, and they were so incredibly interesting. The audience just connected with them. You did a fantastic job in choosing them.
Well, thanks so much. You can keep saying that over and over again. I'll just stand here and that's like the best. Thank you. They did most of the work. I just sort of stood there and barked orders on occasion, but they did the hard work. Yeah.
I really loved this performance. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was entertaining. It's one of the best I've seen all year, actually.
Wow. Well, you come back, then we're doing it again on Sunday and Saturday and then some Thursdays and all Fridays. So come back. You can be my guest. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you once again for being on the show.
Oh, my pleasure.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. And I'm here with
Gregg Lawrence. I'm a native of Southern California. Grew up in Hollydale, which is part of Southgate that hangs east over the LA River. It's right between Downey and Paramount.
And which character did you play tonight?
I was Wilfred Bond. Wilfred Bond. He's just a lover of life, you know. He just wants to keep everyone entertained and in good spirits. And, he misses his wife very badly, and once she left, then he really didn't have any choice but to come into the home. but he has his colleagues and his friends, and you try to make the best of it, you know.
I really loved the way you played it. First of all, he was it was very entertaining, very eccentric, but also in the play he said he was a bringer of life. I just felt the way an actor would somehow come on stage and suddenly change the mood. He would just bring life in. You would just bring life into the audience.
Well, thank you. That's my intention. Indeed, it's a wonderful role. I'm really, really fortunate to be able to play this.
If my viewers decide to come and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
Well, you should expect to find out a little bit about opera, and to find a little bit about what life is like for retired artists.
I agree. I thought, first of all, it was very artistic. I love the music. I love the experience of actually being around artists, because that's kind of what I do. I interview people, and artists just look at things in a different way. They look at things full of life. They look at things like art is greater than them. They look at things sometimes as a vessel to the muse, where they basically just present this gift from God.
Yes, I think Baudet, the cartoonist, Von Baudet, put it best in his cartoon Cheech Wizard, which was in National Lampoon in the 70s, which was when I was in college. And Cheech Wizard was always chasing the laughing light and guiding people to the laughing light. And honestly, that's why I love comedy so much. You do. I always say that people's hearts are open when they're either laughing uproariously or scared out of their minds. They're just without pretense then.
Once again, I really loved your performance. I thought you were incredibly funny. I thought you were entertaining, and again, I thought this performance was fantastic. It was wonderful.
Well, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. We put a lot of work into it.
Right. Thank you once again for being on the show.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine. Now I'm here with
Shirley Hatton. Well, I'm playing Sissy Robson in the play Quartet, and I've worked at Little Fish for several years, and I love playing this part because she's sweet and innocent, and usually I kind of play more angry, hard-bitten characters. Sissy Robson, she's a very sweet woman, and she was raised in India, and, she never had a lot of affection in her life, but she could sing, and she loves singing, and she also likes sleeping around with lots of men. And now she's at an age where her memory is starting to fail her, so the reason she stopped singing is because she can't remember the lyrics anymore. So it must be very difficult, I think, though I don't know how aware she is of it.
I loved your character. First of all, I always love eccentric characters. I love villains and anti-heroes. Your character was actually going through a bit of dementia, and it was like she was going through an adventure, almost like going through her own story, like inventing her own story, inventing her own life.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I've had several people in my family who have dementia, and it is sort of like that. They go back to their childhood, and those memories seem to be the strongest for them. So it's actually, it's kind of sad for me to play this character because I have had so many people in my family with dementia, and so I try not to think about that before I go out on stage, because Sissy's not bothered by it, really. She's very, very happy person.
If my viewers decide to come and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
Oh my gosh. I think they should see these four artists who love what they do, and they're so passionate about performing, and now they're having to deal with life where they can't do the thing that they truly love, and they're trying to find ways to keep that alive and to keep going.
I love the piece. I thought it was about growing old with grace. It was about, so you can't do those things. Well, you enjoy the things you can do, and you do them as well as you can, with as much vigor and as much life as you possibly can.
No, I absolutely agree, and Sissy's a prime example. She takes joy in everything, walking in the Bluebell Wood or being on a committee. To her, that's just so terribly exciting. Reading the minutes of a committee, which is truly about the most boring thing in the history of the universe. And Sissy takes great joy in that, so I really admire her for being such a joyous person.
I really love the performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Well, thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Jim Rice. Well, I'm a company member here at Little Fish. I've been acting in Orange County in LA for about 28 years. Done a little bit of everything. Yeah.
Great. And which character did you play?
I played Reggie, the tenor. Reggie's a guy who just he's lived his whole life wanting to be in control, and in a world where you can never control everything. And so he's finally got to a place when he retired where he can control his world, and it shatters all around him.
He reminds me of someone who would be a great singer and then become a director, and he'd get into the direction and be very good at it because he's interested in the little nuances. You know what I mean? He'd be great at it.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should they expect to see?
I think if you come here to see this, you expect to see something that is surprisingly funny and sincerely touching. It's about real people at a stage in their life that we all feel no matter how old we are. And really it says, live this day with everything you got. That's what the message of this play is. And I think it's a good one for today.
I agree, because again, when you get older, you think about dying. You think about making amends, writing your will, visiting church, going, arranging for all your money. You think about dying, but this was not about dying. This was about living. You have, say, 5-10 years left. What are you going to do with it? Live the best you can with it. Enjoy every second. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's exactly right. I'm at a place where I know there's fewer years ahead than there were behind, and it's the line in the play where he says, forget all the stuff you used to be. You're alive. Celebrate that, and I think that's a great message. We too often, I think nowadays especially, get wrapped up in the clouds and don't see that there's a great deal in life that we can enjoy. We should be raging against the dying of the light.
Also, I love the fact that they had this treasure trove full of memories, saying, "Oh, I worked with this person. I knew this person was always such a car." They just have this life full of beautiful memories, and they're just sharing it with one another.
Yeah, and we all do. Sometimes we lose track of that, but they're at a point in their life where really what they have are their memories, and they've chosen to really think about that. And in this case, they have to come to terms with some of those memories and to be able to move forward into the future.
Yeah. I also like the way your character particularly planned his life. He said something about he's forgotten the things that are painful for him, and he thinks that's normal. I enjoy that. Just get away from the old stuff. Just embrace all the good stuff I've been through, and that's me.
Yeah. And it's really his life. He's planned for this retirement, but the problem is you can't plan for anything. Right? Because if you do that, then Gene shows up and everything goes, to hell in a handbasket. So.
Yeah, well, I love the way that happened too.
I do too. So this is a wonderful play. I really have a good time doing it.
Yeah, I love this play. I actually think it's one of the best plays I've seen all year.
Well, thank you very much. I think it's worth. I think everybody should come see it.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being on the show. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with.
My name is Mary-Margaret Lewis. I've been doing this for a long time, as you can tell, probably, and I love it. And this is the most challenging role that I have ever done.
And which character did you play?
I played Jean, the baddie, Jean Horton. Yes, she's a very, very sad lady who's lived a lie her whole life, and that's made her bitter and unhappy, and it's molded her. She's lost relationship after relationship. She doesn't even have a relationship with her children. I mean, she tries to pretend like she does, but she can't even give her son, who plays the guitar. That's bad for her. That's not being a musician. You don't play a guitar. You play a piano or a violin, or you do something, but not a guitar. At the Church of England, no, that's not good. So.
Yeah, I really love the way you played your character. First of all, I'm a big fan of villains and anti-heroes. Your character, well, first of all, also I deal with a lot of artists, and sometimes I do have to interview people who are a little bit of a diva. But I always wondered about what they're like, why they're this way. And again, they're very intriguing to me.
It was to me too, and it was very difficult to get hold of Jean because I knew she was going to be unpopular and not liked by the audience, and that's hard for an actress to want. You want the audience to like you, but Margaret had to really push me to be diva-like and to come on with that air, and because then that makes her breakdown all that much more appealing to the audience, I think. Don't you?
Yes, I do, because every time when I interview a diva, I always think things like, why is she like this? Then I think back, she's very attractive. I bet she was sexually abused by a director or a producer, because why else would she be like this? Because she loves the same thing I love. She loves art. She's not in this for the money, she's not in this because it's such hard work. So I know for a fact that it's something, because I'm always so curious on what that is. But again, also, there's no distance that I just can't touch them.
Don't you think it's a protection thing for yourself too? I mean, when people put up those kind of walls, especially like that, and you only want to be seen for the one facet that you are, and that is your art. Don't ask me who's behind the art. Don't ask that person. I don't want you to know that person. So that's interesting too, I think.
Yeah, I love the way you played your character. Well, first of all, also, if my viewers decide to come by and see this piece, what should I expect to see?
I think they will be enjoyed. I think there's a lot more comedy, and I think the fact that we're all of a certain age, maybe the audience can relate to that if they're older, or if they're not, they can see where they're going to be in 20 years, maybe. I don't know, honey.
Well, I think it's good for the whole family, because it's like there's something mysterious about growing old. It's like it's basically going into the unknown, right? It's not going into the unknown. It's just you're just going through denial. You're not experiencing. It's actually about living. Is what it's about.
That's true. But the thing is you can't live it. Everybody tells us that. I mean, your grandparents told you that. Your mother and father told you that. Wait till you get older. You'll understand. Wait till you get older. Everybody's told us that. You don't believe it until you get there, right? And we're there. That's it.
Okay, well, I love the performance. I thought it was fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for being on the show.
Quartet will be playing at Little Fish Theater from March 9th to April 8th. For more information, go to www.littlefishtheater.org.